Milanron is over on the side, manages to find Flores, looking for another one for Friday. Gives him the melee hit. Rez will come through to Bakura, back in the fight. NYXL gets back over onto the point. It's going to be a nano onto Yakmo. He does get anti. He's playing around the bubble. He's keeping himself safe. He's not taking too much damage. But as I say that, there comes the beam from behind Milanron. He gets the nano boost. They find the Valiant, and that can be the go button now for the Valiant to get themselves in onto point A. Playing Akil, and Bianca gets the eat on the Dragon Strike, takes that one away. Now Shochek going to be eliminated. Bianca with a self-destruct of his own, manages to find Milanron. Bubble comes down to protect Friday, ensuring they can put Bianca back into the fight. He will remech, and NYXL look great to be able to take this second round.
But Toby gets hit by the dynamite, and that's not how you want to try to make this engagement last when the payload is right there to take this first point.
Okay, Crystal is dominating now on this Ashe. Oh my word.
Welcome back, everyone. We're moving on to our final series here in the East region. It's going to be the NYXL facing off against the Valiant to close out the day here for APAC.
Yep. Vicky, I want to cast your mind back to yesterday and how Valiant did end up taking the first stage on Control. I'm still hoping, I'm still praying that Valiant find more maps this season. Maybe even the elusive W. We'll have to wait and see. NYXL, they've been looking pretty good recently, and a few different changes from what we've seen previously as well in their DPS lineups more specifically. We saw a lot of like pairings, as it were. We saw Flora come in with, let's talk about Ivy first. Ivy and Guangbong coming in on things like Junkertown with the dive, and then they'd kind of instantly switch out, and we saw them mix up completely. We saw a little bit of Ivy with a little bit of Flora the other day too, so I wonder what kind of flavor of NYXL we will be seeing. We are seeing Flora and Feathers start out the day, but this has been the big question for me surrounding the NYXL. How do they end up utilizing their 4 DPS players? And I like the fact that they're going with these two pairings. Like I mentioned though, did see a little bit of a change up yesterday. Did benefit them in some ways, but this Flora Feather lineup has just been stupendous. Guangbong had quite a slow start to the season. I think his rookie season as well didn't show up crazy. We know his Widowmaker skills are definitely there, like they're on point. We know he can click the heads. It felt like he needed to shake off a couple of those nerves. So now he's got more reps under the belt. It's been interesting seeing him migrate to different DPS partners too.
Yeah, you talk about, how a lot of these newer players moving up to the Overwatch League and how they're doing. Flora 2 just being able to pop off. Now looking at the LA Valiant here, Jaws, we saw their performance yesterday. We have the same lineup here. Milanron, Crystal, Silver 3, Shou Chang, Wuya, Hybe coming in. We haven't seen NVM actually in quite some time. That's another tank that they could pull out, but when they have Silver 3 here trying to do their best on the Winston and Ball, we saw a lot of that improvement yesterday. Because I'm gonna be honest here, Jaws, after seeing the June Joust and how the Valiant were trying to make some changes here, it just wasn't looking so hot. It looks like they were trying to run the dive, but kept failing when the engagement just wasn't really going their way, and then they had to reset, and it's so difficult to try to come back from that. And now that they're going off against a team like the NYXL, the same team who took that win over them just our last series, it's so difficult to deal with.
Yeah, it's super tough. Super tough, the Valiant. We talked a lot about it yesterday, Vicky. We did, and you referencing that they could bring in some other tanks, but Silver 3 had some silver linings in the clouds yesterday with a nice little highlight play, knocking a couple of people off the map.
Yeah.
Against Spark, but the expectations for this team is that they're not really going to find a whole lot of success, but I've still got hope. I hope it's still there.
Especially in the APAC region. We've seen the craziest things happen here.
Yeah,
we talked about late night here, but
there's always room for upset. Always. Ilios is going to be the first map. Ruins, to be specific. How the NYXL roll out the gate. Looks like Feather's going to TP forward. Can't imagine he's going to stay on Sim. Probably just goes over to Tracer. Yep, there you go. Easy as pie. It's almost the same kind of compositions we're seeing throughout APAC right now, especially when it comes to these kind of long-range maps with a lot of tight corridors. We see kind of this tag team, which we mentioned yesterday. Feather and Yukpong diving into the back, and Bianca and the rest of the 4 players just trying to isolate someone and walk at them, basically. Showtime, Hybe, Crystal, Malaron. In fact, the entirety of Valiant taking a little bit too much damage there.
Ooh.
Crystal ends up going down first.
And now you're going to see the NYXL, they're moving up. They're forcing the Valiant to back off. They're going to try to re-engage with Crystal here. But Bianca being able to control that bridge, they're going to be able to control the point too. And the Valiant right now, they're going to have to go for that reset.
Yeah, it's very hard to actually dive that bridge area as well. There are a couple little exits. If you can boot them down onto the point into the small little cavern, it can be quite beneficial to you. Should be, yeah, nice. He actually gets away. Wow.
Wow.
I'm surprised Feather didn't spy check him there and actually get him out of cover. Oh, Monk's in trouble.
Oh, and Jonak too now coming in. Bianca's back in this fight. Gets hacked now too. Bianca was also discorded at one point. Hybe gets stunned. Jonak in a great position here, has a Transcendence, but now that Wuya had used the Transcendence first, they're funneled into that room, and Feather's just trying to get into position, has the Pulse Bomb, and now Wuya is in some trouble, trying to back up, but you won't be able to get away with Feather pulling out that Pulse Bomb. As Hybe is right there to help peel for Wuya, they're taking so much pressure because now Yukpong and Jonak are going to clean things up around the support lineup.
Oh man, Jonak at the brink of death presses the Transcendence button and manages to save himself and the rest of the team. Nice force of the Transcendence though from the XL, forcing Valiant to use theirs fairly early. Normally if you use the support ult later, it's more beneficial to you. You end up surviving a lot longer, and especially the Transcendence, like getting the Zenyatta out of dodge is very beneficial, especially if it's Jonak. NYXL, they got to watch out for this EMP. Solo EMP onto Yukpong. Yeah, he's dead. Goodbye.
Where was he gonna go at that point, right? And Bianca trades that for Silver 3. A ball for a ball. No Hungry Hippos here. Now, as the Valiant try to take control over around this health pack, trying to take this angle, they're not succeeding here. The follow-ups between these Discord orbs, Flora, Feather, Friday, popping off. The Valiant, no man's land now. They're forced to back off. They won't be able to even touch this point. And this is so difficult when you have Jonak in such a safe position here. What are you gonna do? Like those Discord orbs are so lethal.
Yeah, they really are. That rally really saved the rest of NYXL there at the very end. See the flashbang roll in there from Crystal? Flashbang both the Tracer and the Brig, but the armor was just too great for him to shred through with the right click. Oh man, not looking great for the Valiant to start us off with, but there is always hope. There is always hope. Remember, Vicky, remember, the Hobbits did make it to Mordor in the end. So
That's
maybe
true.
the Valiant can cross the land and find that elusive dub.
5, 4,
I love it. We're out here
You know
now.
what they say about me? Apparently I look like Pippin.
What? They
Yeah.
say that? I actually.
Do you think, how much do I resemble Pippin?
I don't think you look like Pippin, actually. That's interesting. I've actually
I'll
never
show
thought
you a
about
side
that.
by side later.
I did see that
You can
later,
see.
yeah. I know Excel though right now with the way that Jonak is playing in position. It's so difficult. We actually had to swap off the Zen and now is back on this Ana. And I don't know how this is going to work out too, because now Wuya is going to be on this backline with just Show Cheng and Silver 3 to help peel. Flora gets that first pick up to Crystal, but they have Hybe there for the res draws.
Yeah, they do manage to get Crystal back up and alive. I was about to say, if Valiant don't touch that, that's going to be a massive threat.
Oh, no.
Oh, Hybe caught out.
Oh.
Flora, I believe, body shot him there, and Feather was able to just follow it up with a quick couple of bullets to the dome. My goodness. Okay. Yeah, Valiant did manage to recontest as Feather was pressuring the capture, but it does turn out as soon as Hybe goes down, it's a little bit more difficult for the rest of Valiant to stay alive, and now they control high ground as well. And this should be a quite easy kill on Milan Run. No, he doesn't actually end up getting away. Hybe's doing a good job of pocketing him up into the skies. A little bit more difficult for Flora to take him out, unless Milan Run is discorded, which he is right now. Flora's going to have a tough job.
That's a great first pick here for the Valiant, finding Friday. Jonak has a Transcendence, but this anti is going to help out Yukpong and Flora. They're forced to back off, and Feather has pulled the trigger on the pulse bomb. Shocheng taking a lot of damage. It's too late, though. Shocheng's already demeched, and Hybe with a Valkyrie to try to keep Valiant in this fight, but it's not going to work out in their favor. They were so close to flipping the point, but when you have Feather putting on so much pressure, what are you going to do? Hybe gets the res, so at least tries to keep Valiant in this driver's seat, but with Flora also uncontested, the Dynamite and the Diva Bomb now coming in from Bianca, Crystal's Bob won't have any impact. Bianca's popping off, and no one's done anything about Jonak and the fact that he could get these Discord orbs and a lot of that pressure with damage.
Man, it looks so good initially. They end up finding a pick, but yeah, they don't end up managing to secure the rest. Oh no!
Wow.
Did Feather actually get slept there as well as he threw the pulse? Oh man, that is.
And
they lose mech as well. Shocheng's just going to throw himself off the map. Yeah, this looks like it should be round. And map. Jonak just right-clicked. Oh,
what?
Jonak? Okay. Right. That's like a solo queue play where you line up the spawn doors and then just start right-clicking. I know that all too well. Wow, okay. Jonak kills Diana, and now, uh-oh. Valiant need to be able to get to point. They're going to be able to. Lucky Wuya does spawn in time, and he has got Nano.
And now with Malonron utilizing that duplicate, getting that Diva, Silver 3, going to try to get into this fight, but now they have to watch out for Yapeng and those minefields. That's going to create a lot of pressure, stop that rotation in from the front doors. Meanwhile, Bianca's still getting a lot out of those Discord orbs as Jonak has been uncontested. It's going to have the Transcendence soon. Friday with the rally here too. Jaws, the NYXL, they're tired of it. They're tired of it. Silver 3 is still trying to contest here. Or now, he's gone. He's out of that fight. They burned him down. The Transcendence 2 from Jonak. The Valiant are still trickling in, but the NYXL, they're upset after yesterday, Jaws. They just want to be able to go through this series, get some of those points. They take the first map, and they're showing here. The Valiant, you won't get your revenge on us this time.
Yep, no way. That was a very definitive map number 1 for the NYXL. Well, Amron does always seem to have a little bit of a grin on his face some of the time in these matches, and you gotta respect him for that. I mean, it is tough. It is a tough situation. But there we go. NYXL, Vicky, they're a map up. We're going to jump to a break. We'll see if Valiant can bite back after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official refreshment of the Overwatch League, and by IBM, the official cloud and AI partner of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, everyone, to the action. The NYXL are currently up a map versus the LA Valiant. Vicky Kitty here with Pippin, apparently, because I actually got to look up an image. And Jaws, I'm sorry, actually. You know, it does actually look scary about just like you. But how many meals do you eat a day, though? We have to. This is important. Do you eat a Hobbit meal here?
Yeah, no, probably not as much as Pippin, Mary and Pippin do. Yeah, there's no way I could stomach all that. Funny story, actually. Someone made, someone called Uberchain made an emote of like my head, but Pippin's face like photoshopped over my face. And I was like, wow, that's a cool emote. Like, oh, when did you make that? Like, when did you take that photo of me? And I was like, wait. That's not me. That's Pippin. And Josh saw the same thing, and he said exactly the same thing. He was like, "Wait, that's not yours. What the hell?" It was so funny, so funny. Anyway, back to the present. Enough about that. How much I like Pippin. As we get into the second map of the day, or the series, sorry. Valiant, yeah, they did end up falling on Ilios, but you never know. They can bounce back maybe in this second one. NYXL still looking good though.
They're looking really strong. I mean, mentioned it earlier after their dominating hold on that second control point, but looking at the way that they're going into this series, of course, they were able to successfully and dominantly take the series against the Valiant earlier on. I believe it was week 8. So they're basically just replicating that now, you know, seeing how close their series was just yesterday against the Charge. You know here that the NYXL, they need to get more of these wins. They cannot drop a map here because they want all those points, especially seeing that they were so close just last month.
Oh, yes, indeed. And they did actually knock out the Spark in contention to the tournament too. So that was a very cool storyline. An undefeated Spark, only losing a couple of maps. Then the NYXL swoop in there and smack them down 3-1. They probably want that undefeated record themselves this time around. They're doing a good... they're off to not a bad start whatsoever. As we do head into Hollywood as our next map. Looks like we're seeing Valiant attack first. And we do see a couple of substitutions as well, or a single substitution, I should say. Guangzhou is coming in for the NYXL. So long-range hit scan is his specialty, so I can imagine he's going to be jumping on the Ashe or the Widowmaker. For Hollywood especially, if you're on the offense, I mean, the Ashe is probably a little bit more viable. The second point, a very, very classic Widowmaker point, so I can imagine that's why NYXL have brought him in. But
yeah, now seeing Guangzhou come into this lineup for the NYXL, trying to mix things up. It's going to be the Valiant starting things off on the defense. I like the look that we're seeing from the NYXL. Of course, we have to highlight always that strong foundation for the NYXL, Jonak. So consistent, not only with his positioning and being able to get those Discord orbs safely onto the Valiant, but the pressure from the follow that we have from the rest of the NYXL on those Discord orbs.
Nice, we have Friday on the Mercy as well, making sure the Valiant have to be a little bit more scared. Malron's actually on the Doomfist. We probably should have talked about that a little bit. Doomfist on Hollywood. There are some sick rollouts on Hollywood, by the way, Vicky. Just saying. Crystal's been found out. Oh, dearie me. He should be fine, though. Oh, no. Malron just rolls out on Jonak and just destroys him. Issue is, they do have a resurrection, but as you're not healing your Ashe, the combo ends up going down. So not a net positive for the Valiant, as Malron's going to be able to get back to the point rather quickly, as he is Doom after all. A lot of mobility.
Well, there's a lot of that pressure too. You saw Malron get melted trying to pull a little too aggressive into an aggressive situation. But talk about aggressive, Yapung, he's on the back lines. He gets stunned, and then the follow-up, that's what you have to worry about. When you're Yapung on that back line, you have to deal with both Malron and Crystal stopping you in place.
I feel like Yapung should switch. There won't be anybody for to really counter with, but a switch here from Yapung wouldn't go amiss. Because he is against Malron. Oh, here comes the Nano Doom back. Goodbye, Jonak again.
Oh, they isolated him. He had him in his sights, and they've also found Yakpeng Wuya with that nano boost. I love the way that Valiant just played that too. They back off immediately, not wasting any time. Instead, they're just wasting the NYXL's time on taking this point.
EMP coming online as well for Flora as they do walk in. Looks like they only want to wait for ults. The best way to do that is just wait for this EMP. Yeah, Silver 3, he's just chilling, man. He's just trying to live his life, man, on the stairs. Please. All right, there's the ults. They're coming in hot.
This is the opportunity. Friday also with the Valk 2, trying to go in with Fall from the bomb. Meanwhile, Crystal with a Deadeye, they didn't even go into this line of sight. They waited and played that so patiently. Meanwhile, while Silver 3 was off to the side, they caught him out of position. They dive in on him. Pung getting that pick. That's 3 down for the Valiant. And the NYXL have now moved in. You can see they're trying to regroup here, Jaws. Maybe trying to go for this hold by this next choke point by the gates.
Yeah, a quick reset. More than beneficial. You don't want to give those sight lines away to NYXL. They're going to be using Guangzhou to kind of just snipe people away. Yeah, you see Silver 3 instantly taking all that space, but they got EMP in their back pocket. They know exactly where the supports are, and they're ready to pounce.
Trying to isolate High B2 that has the rally that can help them out, and he finds both supports. The grab came out from Shocheng in time, but not enough time to help the Valiant here, because Flora, with that EMP, has annihilated them. But talk about it with Silver 3. Okay, he heard us, Jaws. He heard us talking about him, finding 2, and now the Valiant could push all the way up. They don't want to get too overly aggressive, but this payload now is stuck at that choke point.
Where did Milan die? Youngpong's in the
he?
back line. He just died near his spawn, I guess? Okay, now Silver 3's going to be in a while to hurt. Yeah, Milanron's not going to be there to punish Youngpong or anybody from the NYXL. That pick-off really opened things up. And now, like I mentioned before, you don't want to give the sidelines. You don't want to give the high ground away because the Ashe, the Mercy, they're just going to set up there and start destroying you. And what they've done? Well, they've given it up because there wasn't really any way they could punish it because Milanron died so quickly.
I honestly was expecting Valiant to at least try to get the high ground position. Meanwhile, they just gave that to the NYXL for free. Look at this. Now Jonak is going to be able to hang out on this high ground. Have Guangzhou right there to help him out. Meanwhile, you also have Milanron getting this EMP. At least the Valiant have some of these tools to contest it. The Transcendence has already been used up. Talk about EMP, it's going to be Flora finding 4. Silver 3's out. Hybe has the rally, but it may be too late here because Milanron won't be able to answer back with the EMP themselves.
Oh, nice. They're throwing everything and the kitchen sink, the conservatory, just everything at the Valiant right now. The payload being where it is, oh, okay, that's painful. Double EMP on both tanks. NYXL, they've still got 1 tank alive, and Guangzhou doing what he does best, click heads and destroy your front line.
And Flora 2 just getting away with murder. The fact that they invested that EMP and they still lost 3 right here is insane. Now the NYX are going to take the second point, and Jaws, this time bank already 3 minutes and 15 seconds. But look at the way that Yapeng now is trying to get into position, pulling all the way up, and Flora's trying to get the follow-up. They find Wuya on Hybe, that's both supports out. Shocheng's going to meet them in the spawn. Look how aggressive they're playing the NYXL. They're trying to speed run their way through this.
Yeah, they really are. They're creating so much space for themselves. And more importantly, this EMP as well. Oh my word. It's not quite a speed run, Vicky. It's only, what, 2 minutes, 50 seconds here, so you're good.
They got so aggressive. They pulled all the way up to their spawn, but the payload wasn't really making any progress, though. You can see as Silver 3 trying to get onto that point, the EMP to answer them, though, from Flora. They found Silver 3 because he can't go anywhere. He was trying to be sneaky by contesting that payload. Now, Guangzhou throwing out the Bob onto the high ground. That's going to force the Valiant from being able to pressure them from that space. I like the way the NYX are playing this. They're essentially just split up here to force the Valiant to make the decision on where they want to target to contest this payload.
Jonak got a little bit of revenge there. Crystal dove him in the back line. Uh-oh, speaking of dives.
Currently have right here Shocheng finding Friday. This gold support's down, though, for the NYX. Oh, yeah, Jonak goes down, too, with the Transcendence. So the NYX are, they're gonna want to disengage here, especially since the Valiant are going to have some of these ultimates to contest the NYXL for this engagement.
You see Hybe in that fight, just ran it down mid. He's like, just walks past everybody. I'm like, what the? Wait!
Oh
my. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, everybody chill, We're all good, That, that made my heart leap there for a second. So the invisible Sombra, I'm like, there's no way he goes for this, right?
I feel like everyone just like looked at each other too, just briefly. Now look at the NYXL's position. They're on the high ground here. JJoNak has the Transcendence, Bianca with the Gravitic Flux. Flora wants to try to build into. Crystal, what? Wow, that's huge here, because now it's up to JJoNak to help out this engagement with that Transcendence, but they have to deal with Molanron and that EMP.
Only a minute remains as well. NYXL not going to be able to finish it over a minute, so the Valiant do end up finishing these 3 points as well. They will get another attack. Molanron trying to set up for an EMP. See him trying to communicate. He's found the Translocator as well.
And the Gravitic Flux to follow up after the EMP landed onto Silver 3 and Shocheng, but doesn't get much off of this. Flora gets shut down. Guangmong is going to meet him in the spawn, and now we get to turn up for the Valiant because Shocheng is going to be able to display that, finding those 3 picks, and JJoNak is back in the spawn, but they didn't waste the Transcendence, and that's crucial here, but they still need to look out for that EMP from Molanron.
Yeah, they didn't waste the Transcendence, Vicky, but now it's, do we trans the EMP or do we trans the grab? Ideally, just the EMP, and you have your tanks literally tank the grab.
Oh no.
But Flora ends up going down super early to Crystal. 15 seconds remains, Vicky. Youngpung is going to be one to touch, but Molanron's going hunted.
Oh, and he has the EMP too. He just did a little bit of damage, just trying to get the hack on the health pack, which is going to be big here. If they do try to isolate these support lineups, they have to stay on this point, and Shocheng's on the high ground, has that grab. You want to watch out.
Solo
Try
EMP.
to touch this point. Solo EMP too, yeah, like you mentioned up from Molanron, doesn't get much of an impact, and that's crucial because now JJoNak still has that Transcendence. He didn't get picked off, and they need to try to find these picks after utilizing that grab, and they're not. Silver 3 taking so much damage because he's got that Discord Orb on him and was just able to create a little bit of that space with the Primal. Meanwhile, Flora, he's pulled all the way up into the Valiant spawn, and they're cleaning up the Valiant. They get these picks. The NYXL now, with no time set up in overtime, they're going to be able to get this payload to the finish line.
Nice, okay, they do manage to get to the last point. Oh man, Valiant had all the tools that they really needed to defend that. They had EMP, they had mines, and they also had that grab. It was a solo EMP on Youngpung and then a manual hack on Bianca, and they couldn't kill either of them. And then Shocheng's like, well, I need to try and do something here, right? They're kind of grouped up right now, trying to group around the targets that are hacked. He throws out the grab, but of course, who's lying in wait? Oh, it's JJoNak. He's got Transcendence still, and he didn't really need to use it because it was only Youngpung that was EMP'd. So he just jumps on top of the Graviton Surge, and there you go. No one died at all, and they were able to just roll through from there. Valiant just had all the tools, but just could not make it work. The NYXL now on the defense, running the same kind of thing here. So Valiant now try and set their time bank. At least they did get it to OT, Vicky. That is always a positive.
That's good and all, but man, you have to imagine if the Valiant, if Molanron specifically would have been able to land a high impact EMP, obviously just not on Youngpung in the back, I mean, they definitely could have been able to fully hold back the NYXL. They had those tools like you mentioned. You have to think about how that could, what that could do to their mental. Hopefully now they could go in for a reset, clean slate. Now it's their turn on the attack, the NYXL. I have to try to hold back the Valiant, and they seem like they have some of that momentum to work with.
Come on, man. Boom being a little bit cheeky there. It's okay. He has a shield. If Crystal found the kill, that would have been a very, very sore first point for the NYXL. So how are they going to assault this point, Vicky? How are the Valiant actually going to find success here? Because ideally they need to get on top of JJoNak, or they need to get on top of him. There's a lot standing in their way, though. Bianca, Friday can book your way. Even Guangzhou can as well with his coach gun, to be fair. But taking the high ground is a very, very good start. They can rain death from above and just try and force Guangzhou in a situation he doesn't want to be in. But unfortunately, Molanron was taken low, and Flora finds a nice little flank kill.
Molanron just was not looking out for Flora there. Now, currently have the NYXL just chipping some damage, being able to build into this next round of ultimates, and Molanron is making a swap over to the Tracer now. Not going to go in with the Echo, at least try to give some of that help to Silver 3, as he's going to try to dive in with this Nano Boost from Ouya.
Yeah, the Nano Boost is what they were building up towards Vicky. They've got it online now. They send him straight in, up onto the high ground. JJonak's in trouble.
Oh, he tries to isolate them, but everybody's there. Look how close together the NYXL are playing. What could Silver 3 do in this situation? You're taking so much damage. He tries to dive in with the bubble from Shocheng. The Discord Orb is on him, and now Bolaron is down, and so is Silver 3. They trade them for Bianca. They're still finding these picks. Still doable for the Valiant after they found Jonak here. Yeah, Friday's low too. They're trying to bring this back. Shocheng now putting the nail in the coffin, but they still got to deal with Floor and Yukpeng.
Crystal's alive though. Yukpeng was so low, he couldn't do anything. They're going to be able to get at least a couple of ticks here. Because Yukpeng died last as well, I'm not sure he's going to be able to get in for this touch. Flora's going to have to be the first one in if they want to do it. If they want to actually commit to it. Does look like they're going to. Yeah, Bianca's on high ground as well.
Oh, they rotated that amazingly too. Floor touching, contesting to prevent them to stick now. Hunter Crystal, they really are going to break this back with these ultimates? What? The Valiant, they felt so confident here, and now the NYXL are just shoving their face in the mud. This is nice. Jonak clicking heads too. Okay, NYXL, this is a statement to be made. I know it wasn't a speedrun on their attack here, Jaws, but instead now, they're just gonna try to fully hold the Valiant.
Yeah, the Valiant have got 6 ults coming online though, Vicky. They gotta hit this big grab. Problem is, Janek's got the Transcendence. Friday also has Rally. There's a lot of obstacles to overcome here. Ideally, what you want to do is just send Silver 3 in. Send him in with the Nano Boost or send him in with Primal Rage. Okay, he's dead.
Oh.
All right.
What?
Well, there you go, he's dead. I think he got discorded, right-clicked by Zen, and then also Guangzhou also hit the headshot. That was a health bar zipping away from him faster than he could hit the Q button. Okay, reset. What do? Well, they send Silver 3 in. They send Silver 3 in, they send Milan run in, try and force that Transcendence, or try and force that Rally. That is going to be the aim of the game.
Yep, there's a Nano Boost, Silver 3 going in, and they stop. Wow. Okay. They knew the engagement. They knew the engagement condition here, Jaws, and now the Valiant are non-existent. They don't use all their ultimates completely. They only use 3, but now you have less than 35 seconds to at least get this payload moving, because right now the Valiant, it's looking like they're struggling. They know that they have to fix that attention onto Silver 3.
Silver 3 collapses faster than Snowman in Summer. Like, he gets into the back line and he's already dead. Like, he's already discorded, he's already been headshot 5 times, and he can't even click the Q button. They've got the grab, they've got the high noon, they still have tools to deal with the NYXL. Problem is, Jonak still has the Transcendence, and Jonak kills Crystal, and Bolaron's dead.
And Friday too, yeah, getting that pick. Now you don't have a DPS, now you have the grab with no follow-up. Silver 3 still gets a pick with the Primal onto Guangboom, but the Transcendence from Jonak is gonna keep everybody in this fight from the NYXL. The way that the Valiant are now playing is a little bit spread out, but the Gravitic Flux is gonna send everybody flying. Crystal doesn't get an angle with the Deadeye, they shut him down, and the NYXL, they're trying to wrap this up. It's just a matter of cleaning the Valiant up. The Silver 3 actually living for quite some time, at least for this last engagement, but they're trickling in, and that's gonna be it for the Valiant.
Yep, it is indeed. NYXL take the map, their match point in the series as well. Really nice defense from the Valiant, just could not make it work on the offense. Silver 3's engagements, perfect targets, yes, he's got perfect target acquisition, but man, the defensive prowess. It's almost looking like old NYXL protect the President Jonak, because he don't go down. He don't go down easy. He's got everybody at his back. He's got Friday, Bianca, Yukpeng, like literally everybody on his team is just looking at him, just making sure he stays alive. And it's very hard to crack that kind of defense. Well, match point for the NYXL now, Vicky.
Yep, and they're gonna need to take the map number 3 to put a point on board for themselves. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna be going onto that map at the other side of this break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Pringles. Stay in the game. And by NetApp, the official data management partner of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, everyone. The NYXL are currently at match point versus the LA Valiant. Now, Jaws, I'm loving this look from the NYXL. I saw some changes going into the June Joust. They look a lot better in comparison to the May Melee, and I feel like now the NYXL, they have that foundation, and Jonak is helping that foundation up. Friday is right there to help heal for him. The Shield Bash, they're just shutting down every engagement Silver 3 is trying to partake in with that nano boost from Wuya, but it's just, what can you do at that point? You're taking so much damage because you can't isolate Jonak.
Yeah, it's super tough. It is super tough. It is shades of like old Jonak and old NYXL. And that was actually the story coming into the season too. Jonak being the veteran on the roster and has been around NYXL since its inception. Yukpun and Bianca have been in and out of the league before, but it's been, Yukpun and Ivy have been in and out of the league before. But there's a lot of rookies surrounding Jonak as whether he could kind of build them up to form a solid team. And it's not a team where it's protect the President Jonak anymore. It's just not like that. It's not like it used to be, right? But it's almost now harkening back to that kind of style. Just protect Jonak in the backline as he just starts clicking heads left, right, and center. Like you said, Silver 3 jumps in, tries to isolate. What happens? He's already dead. He's literally already dead before he hits the floor. Like, that's how much focus fire is landing on him. Like, it's very, very hard for Valiant to crack that defense.
He literally had to dive in and just throw the bubble in the middle of the air because of how much damage he was taking, essentially. And that was while he was nano boosted too. So yeah, it's definitely tough seeing how the NYXL now are playing well together. They know what the Valiant wanted to do there. They know that they wanted to try to isolate Jonak, so they were right there to stop him. Now going on to map number 3, the NYXL. They're kicking it into gear. They want to close out this series. I mean, all day today, Jaws, so far in the APAC region, it looks like it's been a 3-0 Overwatch.
Yeah, 3 Overwatch all around. It feels like we've taken CP and Doa's role a little bit. They've been very 3 Overwatch in APAC, but or in the East region, as we are now taking that role. It seems we've had, what, if this is a 3-0 as well, we've had, what, 3 games this weekend?
3 just for the first week, yeah, for the Summer Showdown.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Okay, let's have a look, Vicky. We got Valiant on the defense first. We do have myself on the offense. Okie dokie. What are we running with here? Oh, it's going to be the same kind of thing, except Crystal and Milan run the only ones that are switching things around. We've got Crystal on the Long Range Hit Scan on the Ash now, and Milan run on the Tracer. So Crystal's just going to hang around with the supports, ideally. Just up in that blue box when they get pressured on high ground. It's how the NYXL do approach this one. If they ran out with something like this, wouldn't be a bad idea. Teleport everybody across, and then try. Are they going to try and do the hog sticky hook? I think they will. Nah, it doesn't look like they're going to. Dynamite at the door though. Stops the assault for half a second, but not much longer than that. There you go. So there's the TP across. Tell the support set up to support the tanks jumping up to the high ground.
You know, different look here from the NYXL. They want to try to utilize a lot of this high ground on Watchpoint. Flora, though, already trying to put in so much pressure as Guangboon, who does find Crystal's head. Their Crystal had taken the blunt end of that damage. Nice follow-up here from the NYXL. And look at their position already. They're already forcing the Valiant off of this high ground.
Yeah, and now Valiant have landed themselves in quite a sticky situation. They have to hyper-extend, like super far extend to try and deal with Guangboon. The only other person that could do that is Crystal from the same kind of range. So he's very free to do what he pleases. Yeah, he read Milan run like a book there.
Now as the NYXL have control here on the high ground, Crystal gets hit by that anti from Jonak. Jonak's like, you thought my Zen was nasty. Let me show you how I schmoove on this Ana. The punk taking some of that damage. Well, yeah. It's like, what can they do in this situation?
Getting thrown at him and literally everything. No. They're making sure he can't get a sideline.
Nano boost too, coming in from Jonak to keep Yopung in that fight. Keep him on the high ground. Talk about, Hy-Vee couldn't even get in this situation. He pulled all the way up, but when you have to look at Yopung getting that nano boost and dealing more damage, and the rest of the NYXL between Flora and Bianca diving in, look how much momentum NYXL is riding on right now.
A whole bunch. And they have control of spaceship as well. which is disastrous. On the defense, the spaceship is your best friend. But right now, I mean, Excelsior being on this high ground, it's almost impossible to assault. Like, look how far you are down from the ground, and as soon as you jump up, as soon as you use those cooldowns, what happens? Yeah, Silver 3's health bar just disappears.
Every single time. Silver 3 just trying to get into position, but you're just not letting him create that space that they need. At least Silver 3 does get that bubble, but for what, he couldn't even get onto the high ground just yet, and they try to flail him off from the attempt, and the Nano Boost is actually going to allow the Valiant to take control over the ship. I like this position because Silver 3 could get a little aggressive, but they want to try to find these picks. He's just trying to play a little patient, maybe just wait for the jump to get back onto the spaceship, and he does, and Crystal goes down. Yeah, you got Peng finding that pick is going to keep everyone funneled into this ship, and he's flailing around. The grab is going to keep them in place. The huge ante onto Peng, Bianca, and Flora. But with Jonak being the only one going down from the NYXL as Silver 3 has popped the Primal, he goes down because there's no one else there to help him out. It's just now the Valiant are playing a little spread out. Friday's trying to take full utilization over this rally, and they're sending Valiant home packing into the spawn.
That was a desperation use of the bomb there. This should be second point. Easy peasy. Yeah, there you go. Oh boy. 4 minutes and 56 seconds. If you saw that in your ranked game, I think your
Tilting.
Your heart would sink a little bit. Yeah, or you'd be a little bit tilted. Look how far they're playing up to. I mean, you might as well, really. I mean, you're punching the spawn positions. There's not really much the Ana can do against a Tracer and a Monkey Dive.
Yeah.
So. But just the momentum on Watchpoint Gibraltar is just so important, Vic. It really is. Just taking over that second point. The spaceship is so critical for your success on that point. Normally, if the defense manages to get a hold of it after they get wiped on first, it can be quite a difficult assault for the offense. But because NYXL were able to clean Team White Valiant, they were able to utilize the high ground to great effect. Pulse bomb and show chain. Crystal dies as well. Same story all over again. Oh, this time,
That started with the Jonak
anti
ante too. That was actually an insane follow-up with the dynamite that Guangzhou actually was able to pull off there. Molenron also taking a lot of damage, gets onto right back towards Hybe. Hybe does have that rally at least to help sustain the Valiant, but the way the NYXL have now disengaged, now trying to rotate through some of their ultimates. Guangzhou sending out the Bob. He's taking a quick nap though, as now Wuya has been able to instigate with the Nano Boost. Silver 3 gets stunned, but he is unstoppable this time as he's taking care of Friday, but no one's there! No one's again?
No.
Not like this. Not like this. This is no. And they finally were able to at least isolate Friday too. Silver 3 was diving
they killed
in
Jonak
with a
and Friday in that engage. That was a really nice anti-nade actually onto Jonak after he used the nade on himself. Really, really nice. But I mean, they yeah. I'm going to be real with you. I wasn't even looking at the cut progression either. I was looking at Jonak and Friday getting dove.
Yep.
I was like, oh, wow, if they kill these, like, this is going to be pretty easy, right? I mean, they don't have supports. Okay, let's see how that actually went down. Oh my god. So yeah, there's like 4 people on the payload. Or 3 people, sorry.
And those 3 people also fixated all that attention on Hybe. Like, Hybe was the only one from the Valiant that could have at least tried to contest.
We have to touch.
And
you see that Diva spray there? That's how the Valiant are feeling right now. Pretty frustrated.
Oh no. I was going to say too, like, Hybe could give that information over the Valiant, but Silver 3 had already wasted that jump to get onto Friday.
Yeah,
so it's like,
yeah, exactly. So he couldn't even get back. Oh man, tough. No.
Oh,
no.
Flora having fun.
No. Yeah, Flora had that face, you know. It's kind of a meme, I guess, but you know when someone types like lol or LMAO and behind the keyboard they're not laughing or anything. It's like, oh, I'm rolling on the floor laughing or whatever. And they're just behind the keyboard and they've got a super straight face. That was that meme.
With caps too. I feel like with caps too.
Yeah.
That's the type of person I feel like
caps. Comes to a camera of me in front of my PC and I'm just not smiling at all.
And Flora finds the first pick too while they're on that defense. Silver 3 goes down again. Silver 3 just can't catch a break. They're trying to get this payload at least through the car wash here, Jaws, but this positioning that the NYXL have is going to make it really difficult for them.
Yeah, super difficult. Silver 3's taking a little bit of damage to high ground, but at least they're getting it through the car wash section here. This is going to be the most important, but as soon as these sightlines open up, yep, Silver 3 peeks that out. What happens? Rain of bullets. That's a dip back in and get his raincoat, put it back on. Uh-oh. Is in trouble, but he should be okay.
I have your back.
And now Jonak has that nano boost. Wuya is close right there too to help out Silver 3 at least in this next engagement from the NYXL when they do dive in. Currently at Flora having that pulse bomb too, but with the LA Valiant having that high ground control, Crystal's gone. Wow, Boom being able to do so much damage, and Flora's gonna get the follow-up. Both of the NYXL DPS winning this Ditto trade. Now the nano boost was on Yukpong to control that high ground. Hybe, what are you gonna do here? He does get the flail, does push Yukpong back, but he's able to just dive right back into the action. He's taking a lot of that damage, but that damage is gonna go right back into Friday and that rally too. The NYXL, they've cleaned up the support lineup, they found Shou Cheng, and now they have the number advantage to get this payload moving.
Or stopping in this
Or
case.
stop it, right? Yeah, the defense, just the fact that they've been able to do so dominant.
The payload's moving because it's moving
But-
back.
Oh no.
Run. No way. The little 1v1. Okay, I like it. The Tracer versus Tracer, the pulse one, very good. Jono does end up cleaning him up, however, so there's a bit of a reset for the players there. 2 minutes remain.
And now,
Tanks taking a little bit of damage from high ground, but they should just be able to back off rather easily. They got a lot of support on them too.
yeah, Silver 3 was also able to jump onto the high ground with Shou Cheng's bubble, trying to build into some of the extra damage Shou Cheng can have for this fight. Crystal takes so much damage. Punk's taking a nap though, another anti landing onto them, but no one gets the follow because the bomb is there and it's pressuring the Valiant. They've lost Crystal. With Crystal going down and Guangzhou now having that high ground, the Valiant, they're gonna want to just go for a reset at this point, but look at the time bank right now, Joss. 1 minute and 15 seconds. The Valiant are looking like they're deflated right now at this point. They just keep trying the same approach, but it's not working out.
Yeah, it's not working at all. It's tough. Mentioned it in the pre-map, or the pre-game to this. Shonak on Friday, just hanging around with their DPS. There's nothing that can stop them. Uh-oh. And now Crystal is in trouble. Oh, nice little bit of pocket there. Flora is going to be able to get out in time because of pulse bomb. And now 45 seconds remaining.
No.
Ivy going down first. Those not good. A lot less protection now for the front and back line. And Crystal's soon to follow, it seems.
Flora also has that recall to ignore that anti. Yeah, that's... But Hybe being the first one to go down there with less than 30 seconds now. At least they could re-engage. They have the rally. Wuya with the nano boost, at least onto Silver 3. Silver 3 could boot them off of that high ground here. Now the nano boost coming in. Crystal finding 2. That's big here for the Valiant, following up from the grab. That's huge. Shou Cheng getting so much impact. The follow from Mullen Rung and Crystal right before Crystal had gone down. They finally have time to get this payload to point A. They could at least get some extra time in the time bank here, Jaws, but the way that the NYXL are playing, they can just back off and now get onto this high ground position to continue on that pressure.
Oh man, what a kill on Jonak as well. This is super good. I mentioned it before, but you need spatial control for this second point to make the defenders' lives a misery. Luckily enough, they've got it. They managed to actually kill Flora initially. Alarmron did chase him down, what looks like. And now they're able to get to the high ground. There you go, Shou Cheng's already in the spaceship. Like, this is a very good position for the Valiant to be in. And now the NYXL have the tough task of actually trying assailing it. But the one ult you got to really look out for here is actually going to be Yukpong's Primal Rage. If he can push people off the high ground, maybe isolate Shou Cheng, should be pretty easy for them to kill him off.
Yeah, and the situation will be reversed too, because then the NYXL will have that positional advantage that they had when they were on the attack. I'm trying to replicate that too. You may mention momentum is important when it comes to the second point, because it really does trickle down to who's on that high ground. Mullenron's trying to bring that fight over to Flora. These ultimates though from the NYXL, close to that nano boost, but they already have 4 here to work with. The Bob coming in from Crystal. Punk pops the Primal. He's on the high ground. He takes a nap though. Nice sleep dart from Wuya. Bombong though now has taken Crystal. The Valiant, they're at a number disadvantage. Yukpong also gets anti. Wuya's doing everything in their power to shut down Yukpong, but Yukpong's not going down. He's another sleep dart on him. He gets waking up in the ship, and now he's on Wuya. He says, sit down, I'm tired of sleeping. I'm awake now, and I'm here to clean up the Valiant. The Valiant have less than a minute now to get this payload with a second point. Did it to the very last seconds, Jaws, but the NYXL have regained control in this section.
Oh, yeah, both Shocheng and Malamran just stood still there. They know they have to be able to reset. There's the last fight. It was an unfortunate moment there where I thought, and I think Malamran thought as well, that he actually stuck Friday, but it looked like the pulse bomb zipped past his shield. Quite an unfortunate use of the pulse. Okay, Nana Boost used onto Silver 3, he jumps to the high ground. Insta-sleep though.
Oh. Yeah, now it's Silver 3's turn to sleep here, and trying to push the NYXL off of that ship. You see Malamran actually pushing the payload. They gotta stop him. Flores sees him, so he's gonna be able to get on that payload to at least contest. They need to stay here though, to at least push it into overtime. They need to get off of that high ground. Boom finding Malamran now. Won't have that Tracer to help contest. Won't be there to help Silver 3 as he goes down from the nade on Jonek. No one's there. Oh, the NYXL, they take the series, and another 3-0 in the books here for the East region, closing out the day, Jaws.
As a whole lot of 3 Overwatch recently. Oh, Shocheng got player of the game, not too bad at all. Yeah, the Valiant go down once more. NYXL take a nice little victory. Not too bad whatsoever. Yeah.
Wow.
I really do hope the Valiant end up turning up towards the end of the season. They're looking slightly better every single time we do see them, but it's looking a little bit unfortunate. However, NYXL, on the other hand, looking fantastic right now.
Yeah, you talk about the Valiant looking better. I agree, but then the NYXL, it's basically the same case for them. Right out of the gates, they were able to make a lot of that improvement. They were able to adapt to around Jonek being that anchor. I love the way that they were able to also fixate that attention onto the position advantage that they had in that last map. And that it makes it so difficult when you have to go through the car wash and the NYXL still hold on to that high ground. You have Guangzhou also in the back too, just not getting shoved off of that high ground, putting in so much pressure with those headshots. It's actually really nice to see the NYXL kind of sustain themselves now, kind of get back that confidence that they needed now going into the Summer Showdown. Yeah,
it really is. And, well, he's a veteran. He's the captain of the team, NYXL. Jonak is going to be your player of the match, presented by Xfinity. No real shock there. His Zen play today was really something else. It honestly felt like I was watching old Jonak just going super aggro, killing tracers left, right, and center. Just was not afraid of anything that was thrown at him. It looked good. He had a good showing today, and it was a big, I think, challenge for NYXL with a lot of rookies coming in and other veterans like Ivy and Yukpa. It really did all center around Jonak. Could he pull this team together? And it does very much look like that is a reality. NYXL looking good going on to the later weeks, and Jonak, oh, see that kill onto Crystal was sick. Headshot into the body shot, a little kick at the end. A little bit of flair some of the time. And yeah, what more could you want, really, from your flex support?
Absolutely, Jonak being one of my personal favorite players to watch. Look at that impact, though. 15K with the healing, 12K with the damage. Those Discord orbs were lethal, and the follow-up too from the rest of NYXL was phenomenal. That's what really put on a lot of that pressure, especially whenever Silver 3 tried to dive in to start off the engagement. He just took so much damage that they really couldn't wrap things up for that fight, and the NYXL constantly disengaging altogether while protecting the President Jonak. They were able to just re-engage all over again and keep up that pressure. They were able to just annihilate the Valiant, and the Valiant unfortunately couldn't get that revenge.
Well, now, Vicky, it is time for Crunch Time, presented by Cheez-It Grooves. What do we think about NYXL moving forward? When is their crunch time going to come? Because today, yeah, it was a 3-0. It looked fairly easy for them, but when is it actually going to hit them hard?
Honestly, I think that this is the time for the NYXL to shine. They just keep looking better and better. I think after the May Melee, they really went through boot camp. Jonak actually making them work out as hard as they can, because then we saw them in the June Joust. They came alive, and then now with the Summer Showdown, especially after their last series against the Charge just yesterday, they're looking a lot better. I feel like their previous wins before the Summer Showdown looked like it was just capitalizing off a lot of mistakes that their previous opponents were making, and then the NYXL just trying to roll around that and take advantage. But now looking at this new look from the NYXL, looking at how their synergy is really shining, I'm expecting the NYXL to do a lot better in the Summer Showdown.
Yeah, they got a couple of tough matches coming up as well, so that's going to be the crunch time for them. They got Spark and the Fusion too, so 2 very important games leading up to those qualifiers. So yeah, that is the crunch time for them. Can they continue this momentum? And Guangzhou is looking good. Let's be real. Flora looking good. Their DPS lineup looking stellar. Their backline is always going to be crispy clean. And their tank line as well looking pretty solid. It's whether they can actually take down the Titans that are the Fusion and the Spark as well, who are also looking pretty good.
Absolutely. Well, they're going to be playing next week, and Josh, it's actually going to be it for today for us. Guys, don't go anywhere. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, these matches were just the start for today. There's going to be some more Overwatch League action at 12 p.m. Pacific time. You don't want to miss it, so make sure you hit that subscribe button down below to get notified when the matches are going to go live for North America. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope to see you next time.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Cheez-It Grooves. So much flavor, it's a mind crunch.